Well, AOC has been confronted again. Watch this.
I'm going to be brief. Congress members, when are you going to pull us back from the verge of nuclear war? In October, these progressives said there's a threat of nuclear war. We need to sue for peace between Russia and Ukraine. They retracted it. When will you come to the table like President Lula has, like Pope Francis has? Are you a Catholic? He's calling for a peace summit.
Be real, man. We got you. Let me say what I say first, man.
Schumer is taking us to nuclear war. We are going to nuclear war because of these bastards. Are you going to wake up, people?
No, we're not going to wake up.
Tanks.
Bye-bye.
Sending it in.
Bye-bye.
NATO.
All right.
As I was saying,
Anyway, once we won, we said we're not going to stop. We just put the crack in the dam, and now we're going to go for the whole damn thing. And then Tiffany ran for DA. She came for the
So do you think you're gonna win a nuclear war then? Mr. President Lula da Silva from Brazil said that he wanted countries to meet together for peace.
What does he have to do with this?
Right, because I'm telling you, because she's the woman who's sending my money to go to Ukraine so that we can have a nuclear war.
Is it okay if we go down?
But listen, I have a question though, because the Pope and President Lula are desperately trying to keep us from dying in a nuclear apocalypse. Oh my goodness. The muscle is out here. No, but I'm serious. If I die in a nuclear war, I guess that's better, right? Because we've got the AOC, and everybody's cheering on, and we get to talk about local politics while she sends $100 billion into Ukraine for the war.
Thank you, Bowman. What's up, dude?
But Bowman, I told you already, and you endorsed Diane Sayre.
All right, well, Daniel Burke is a representative of the International Schiller Institute and founded and chaired by Helga Zepp-LaRouche. In 2020, he ran for Senate as an independent in New Jersey. Daniel, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Kim.
Well, confronted again. I mean, you know, it's really great to see this. I think we need to see more people out there. And we spoke to Jose Vega, who also has been speaking up and being very noisy, you know, at these events. So tell us, you know, what was the reaction after this? I mean, you got escorted out. Who are the people that were grabbing you and taking you out of the room?
They had some serious muscle there, and they were very carefully, very rapidly removing us. But I believe it was actually a councilwoman or a candidate for council who was one of the people right behind me, making sure that I was ushered out as quickly as possible. I mean, you heard the woman who's in front of the camera say, "No, we won't wake up." Yeah. So it was that was typical of the crowd there. But I thought it was crucial to get in front of them anyway.
Yeah. What do you think has happened with this branch of, you know, the progressive wing of the Democratic Party? I mean, they were the ones that really people were looking to go in there and shake things up. And what we saw was they didn't. They've just seeming, you know, they've fallen in line. I mean, there was that moment when AOC, if you remember, when she first got there and she protested in front of Nancy Pelosi's office with the Sunrise Movement. But after that, we really haven't seen a lot of pushback against the establishment, against the Democratic establishment, unlike what we see on the Republican side of the aisle. Surprisingly, it's the Republican populists who are actually holding Republican establishment's feet to the fire, and they're actually doing the very things that we wished AOC would do, and they're even speaking out against the war machine. Yet here we are. What is going on with these progressives?
Well, I think they're betraying the fact that they have absolutely no guts. As I pointed out in my comments, it was in October that letter came out in which they specifically said, on account of the danger of nuclear war, therefore, President Biden, we urge you to seek peace negotiations. And within 24 hours, right, that was retracted. Who is it that's putting their heavy hand on that shoulder? I mean, Chuck Schumer was right there, the most powerful man in the Democratic Party today, I would say. And other than perhaps Joe Biden. And this is an operation to go along to get along. But the crucial thing is that they're risking nuclear annihilation of humanity, and they act like they can get away with that without even responding to their population, to the population.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even had votes on whether or not we as the American people want to go to war. We haven't had that vote in decades. And yet we're in endless war, and I don't know how they can, of course, they use these legal workarounds to thwart democracy at its core. I mean, they figured out, okay, well, if we just word it this way, or if we just do it this way, then we don't need to get the vote of the American people. And that is just really disgusting. And that's the type of stuff that you would expect these progressives to actually be talking about, screaming about, saying the American people deserve a voice in this. This is democracy. We need democracy in this process. And yet they've just completely failed us. I mean, they have 100% fallen in line. And then what was it AOC was talking about after? Later on that video when she says, we just put a crack in the dam, but then we're going to take the whole damn thing. I mean, what was she saying? What was she referring to?
She was trying to get this relatively small number of people at this fundraiser to get all excited about their actions to get Democrats into the New York City Council. And there was just a complete disconnect with the reality of what's happening in this country, the breakdown of the economy, the conditions of life for the average person. These are federal representatives, and they're not being held to account for this kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm really curious to hear Joe Biden speak tonight and what he addresses. What is he going to be focusing on? I know that they reworked the whole China part of the speech after Balloongate. I'm curious, what will he focus on? Is he going to focus on the economy? What is he going to say about Ukraine? I think we're all kind of waiting with bated breath on, is he going to say endless support, never-ending support? We will take Russia down. I mean, what will he say? I mean, what are you anticipating this whole speech to be about tonight?
Well, one way or another, I can't quite forecast what he's going to say, but the narrative about the Ukraine war is breaking down. We've had the former Israeli Prime Minister Bennett come out and talk about how he went with a peace deal and he was prevented from following through on it by Western actors. We have the Minsk admission by Angela Merkel that this was all a lie to begin with. And so I think increasingly they're put into a very difficult situation, Joe Biden in particular, as to how he's going to frame this for the American people. Like, of course, he said sending heavy weapons, sending things like tanks would be World War III. And here we are with that kind of circumstance taking place in Ukraine from NATO.
Yeah, so I'm really waiting to find out what he's going to be saying tonight to see, are they going to be changing the narrative at all towards peace? And, saying we need to come to some sort of an agreement, or are they just going to say endless support and endless tanks and F-16s next? I mean, I don't know. But, good for you for being brave and doing what many of us would not be as brave. We're not brave enough to do this, to go and actually confront in a crowd these Congress people. We had AOC there. Jamal Bowman was there. Who else was there? Those are the two I saw. Oh, Chuck Schumer was there. Really good for you for speaking out and doing that. We need more people actually to go and hound them. I mean, honestly, it's what has to happen in order for them to listen, in order for them to understand that we're not happy with their votes. But then again, you've got that woman in the crowd saying, "Yeah, everything's fine," and then it's that's who they listen to in the end.
I don't think she's going to have a big impact on the future of mankind. I think that if people, first of all, it's fun. You'll have a lot more fun than you think. It is frightening the first couple of times you do it, but then it's fun. And I have faith that there is a capability of mobilizing the people. That's what this February 19th Rage Against the War Machine event is about. I will absolutely be there. And if we could get, many, many more people taking action like this, then I think we can bring about a change that is fundamentally required.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we will be at the Rage Against the War rally that is happening February 19th in D.C. It's starting at the Lincoln Memorial. We're going to be then marching our way to the White House and really just trying to let our voices be heard. There's a lot of great speakers there. A lot of people will be there in the crowd. I'm really looking forward to it. And Daniel, looking forward to then meeting you there in person.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Daniel. And thanks for what you were doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Take care.